can't write half of the stuff that has happened this season. Wait, can you? What's going on, guys? Dave's Report here, back to you with more picks, and this season just keeps getting crazier and crazier as we keep going on, and this is going to be fun to see what happens at the end of it. Our Thursday night game is going to be the Raiders taking on the Rams. For the Rams, Matthew Stafford is officially out for the season. He was placed on IR. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, looks like they're back on track and in contention for a playoff spot if they can keep on winning and some things go their way. As far as this game, I'm going to go with the Raiders over the Rams. Jets taking on the Bills. For the Bills, they were able to reclaim first place of the AFC East after the Dolphins lost to the 49ers, and they were able to beat the Patriots on Thursday night. Jets, meanwhile, just could not complete the comeback against the Vikings, and they ended up suffering a loss. I'm going to go with the Bills on this one, but expect the Jets to make a game of it. Cleveland taking on the Bengals. For Joe Burrow, what's shocking is he has not beaten the Browns since he's taken over as the Bengals starter. That's an interesting fact right there. Meanwhile, for the Browns, Deshaun Watson came back after not playing for, over a year and was, shaky. But they got the win against the Texans, but it's the Texans, so anyway, I'm going to go with the Bengals on this one. They're red hot right now, and right now, they're my Super Bowl favorites. Houston taking on Dallas, the battle for Texas. I just mentioned Houston. They only have one win on the season so far. Meanwhile, for Dallas, they are really hitting their stride right now. If it wasn't for the Eagles, they would be winning the NFC East. I'm going to go with them over the Texans. Minnesota taking on Detroit. Minnesota wins this game. They get the NFC North. They will lock up the NFC North with a win over Detroit. Meanwhile, the Lions have been playing really good football lately. They've been winning games. They're back in contention. Maybe they can get a wild card spot. But it's going to be tough going against the Vikings, and I say they get the win over the Lions. Philadelphia taking on the Giants. Philadelphia can clinch a playoff spot by the end of this week. Giants suffered a tie against the Commanders. Eagles were able to pick up a win. They only have one loss on the season. That was to the Commanders. I'm going to go with the Eagles over the Giants. Baltimore taking on Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh able to hold on against the Falcons, able to get a victory. Baltimore needed a late drive to come back against the Broncos. The offense for the Ravens has been struggling the last 3 games. And against TJ Watt, Cam Hayward, and this Steelers defense, it doesn't look like it's going to get any better, especially without Lamar Jackson. I got to go Pittsburgh. Jaguars taking on the Titans. For the Titans, big shock this week. They have fired GM John Robinson. Nobody saw that coming. They are winning the AFC South right now, but apparently didn't like the direction the team was going. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they are on the right track, but they still have a ways to go. I'm going to go with the Titans over the Jaguars. KC taking on Denver. What more can we say about Denver? Their defense is great. Their offense sucks. And the worst part is, their first-round pick is going to the Seahawks because of the Russell Wilson trade, and right now that's number 3 overall. Talk about adding insult to injury. KC coming off a loss to the Bengals, so they are going to be more motivated than ever to make sure that they win on the road against Denver. That's who I'm picking, KC. Carolina taking on Seattle. For Carolina, news broke. Baker Mayfield was placed on waivers. He was picked up by the Rams. For Seattle, they are neck and neck right now with the 49ers for the NFC West. They have to keep on winning. I say they pick up the win against the Panthers. Tampa Bay taking on San Francisco. Tampa Bay able to pick up a win on Monday night against New Orleans. San Francisco, they picked up the win against the Dolphins. It was one of their best games of the year. Unfortunately, they lost Jimmy Garoppolo to a broken foot. Now, it was expected that he was going to have surgery. Not the case anymore. He could be back for the playoffs, but we're just going to have to see. They are winning the NFC West right now, but Seattle is right behind them, and they have a 7th-round rookie quarterback starting for them. For this game, I'm going to go with Tom Brady and the Bucs. Miami taking on the Chargers. For the Chargers, we know how talented they are, but unfortunately they've had their ups and downs this year with the injuries and the inconsistencies. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, was not able to pick up a win against San Francisco last week. I see they rebound and pick up the win over the Chargers. And our Monday night game is going to be New England traveling to Arizona. Now, Arizona's coming off a bye, but New England is coming off 11 days of rest because they played on Thursday Night Football. Patriots, Bill Belichick is still a defensive genius. The defense has been playing solid all year long. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, it's been up and down lately. It really has been, and you still have to wonder if Kate Klingsbury is going to be able to survive after the season. I'm going to go with the Patriots over the Cardinals on this one. Alright guys, those were my picks for Week 14. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. As always, I will see you guys next time.